Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, and I am here today to do another episode of How to Make a Movie Universe. And this this podcast is going to be covering the month of June, and it will be talking a little bit about my plans for the rest of the summer. So, as you guys know, from last video, I talked about County Fear, the short film, which I would like to announce. I'm sure you guys might have already seen. It has already been licensed to one place called Fossum. And so in a couple of weeks, I don't know how long exactly, but in a couple of weeks, you will be able to see County Fear on the platform called Fossum, which I think is kind of awesome. I think that's really cool. And I'm excited to see what other platforms pick it up, because it really, to me, I feel like it's good enough to where it's like a little hidden gem that people can find. You know, like, I've seen things that are so much worse, to be honest. Like, I know some people might be surprised because, I'm very low budget on purpose, too. Because I think that budgets are kind of a facade. I think that there's a lot of filmmakers out there, and they use the excuse, I didn't have any money to do anything. And it's like, you don't really need money, you just need creativity. Like, that's the whole art of filmmaking, and that's the whole idea of making a movie, is that you're using your brain and you're using your creativity to make whatever you want to make, despite wherever you are. Because that's another thing, is like, no matter what budget you have, there's always going to be some weird thing that happens. There's always going to be some things that you feel restricted about. And I think that, County Fear is good because, I made it with taking my limitations into account. I wrote it around having limitations. There was probably only one or two things about it that I really felt disappointed about. Actually, I would say about 3 or 4 to play it safe. But nonetheless, that is announcement number 1. I don't think that I said that in the previous video, so it has been licensed. Number 2, as you guys know, I was supposed to have 2 different shoots happen this summer, or at least this June. I was supposed to have a Dreamp shoot, and then a couple of days later, I was supposed to have a People Pleaser / County Fear shoot, which, in hindsight is insane. I mean, on the surface, you could think like, oh wow, I'm getting all this stuff done. But then when it actually came time to prepare for things, it just felt so overwhelming and fragmented, and my focus felt so lost. And I think a lot of passion was lost too, because it felt like I'm overextending myself and I'm doing more than what I should be doing. So I ended up canceling the second shoot. And the first shoot, though, I wanted to do it, because I thought it was for sure going to be something magical and something that, would be the great first shoot of 2026. And unfortunately, you guys, if you would like to see the full story of what happened, I did an in-depth podcast that I posted exclusively to Patreon. It is about an hour and a half long, And I think I even priced it out to where it's so expensive to purchase all by itself. Because if you guys don't know, if you just want to watch one video of mine on Patreon, you can just buy it all by itself. But I priced it out on purpose to where you have to subscribe, because I didn't want bad actors to buy it and to go, oh, I see what you're saying, because I know how some people could be. But anyways, I'll admit that I wasn't as fully prepared as I should have been. I thought that I knew the lines, but I ended up I was so taken back by the whole shoot, like about, the interactions and about how it went. I was so taken back that, all the quality and all the directing part of the movie was completely lost. So, it was a really bad shoot. It might be, if I had to rank every shoot that I've ever done, which I think I actually might do that when I'm finished, at least with Drimp, or maybe Drimp and People Pleaser. I might rank the top 10 best and worst shoots and what I learned from each of them. But this one's probably in the top 10 worst. I mean, it was genuinely that bad. And it was so bad to the point of where in the second day of shooting, I actually canceled stuff that we were supposed to do. It was so bad that, I was like, oh, well, I made up these excuses, and I canceled like half the stuff we were supposed to do. And, other stuff happened the second day too. It was just horrible. It was so horrible. I can't begin to tell you guys how horrible it was. I mean, if you guys love those types of videos that I do, where I go in depth and talk in detail about, like, what happens on these movie shoots, these low budget shoots, where I got to do everything besides cross dress and play the female roles, it is probably one of the best behind the scenes podcasts that I've ever done. It's like a movie. It's like a movie, and it is just totally unfiltered, uncensored, and it's so it was actually so painful to record that I started getting emotional in the middle of it. And I don't want to hype it up too much more, but you guys know where it is, where you can find it, because it is spectacular. But after that shoot happened, number one, I was like, thank God, thank the Lord that I canceled that second shoot, because there's no way that I could have done it with how things went with that first shoot. And then I started to lose passion. I started to kind of feel overwhelmed about County Fear. And I kept on going back and forth, because I don't know if I talked about this in the last video, but I was considering, if not for County Fear, I was considering doing 2 Goosebumps episodes, which would be like 100 pages total. And I felt like that would have been a great thing to do if I had already finished Drimp or something, because I think that the big bottleneck is not finishing things, and not finishing at least feature films. I was able to finish a short film last year. I finished County Fear. Whether you love me or you hate me, I finished County Fear, and that was because I fully focused on it. I put all of my energy and effort into it. I was fully in on it. And so I kept on having this debate about, like, what would be more expensive, County Fear or Goosebumps. And I tried to figure out, I like ranked the projects by, like, special effects. How many locations do I have? How many locations do I need? Just all these important categories. And as I kept on doing this, I changed my mind a couple of times because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish County Fear this year. I knew that, when I started County Fear in May, it was kind of naive to think that I could finish it by the end of the summer because, the short film, it was like 20 pages, and this is 100, probably up to 160 pages, counting other things that I can't talk about right now. It's just a bunch of stuff. And I knew if I did do County Fear this year, I knew that I would only be doing a chunk of it. So I went back to the drawing board and I thought, okay, which would be better? County Fear or Goosebumps? Over and over again. But after that Drimp shoot, I don't want to talk too much about specific actors on this podcast because this is a public video. Again, if you want to see the Patreon video, check it out. The link is in the description. But the main character for County Fear came into question. And, there's no movie without the main character. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand, like when they see me, putting myself as the main character all the time. It's because I know that I can trust myself. I know that I can rely on myself. And, here we go again where I got someone to play the main character and then boom. Boom. And so it just put everything into question in a really negative way. On top of that, I can't remember if I talked about this in the other podcasts, but one of the locations is a local park. It's a local park that I used to go to as a kid, off and on. And they had this really big and tall metal slide. And it was pretty much the highlight of the park. Kids would come and they would sit on wax paper and slide down it. There was one time that I slid down it and I what do you call it? I skinned my ankle. Not my ankle, my knee. I scraped and skinned my knee. It was just such a great slide. Like, it was the greatest slide ever. Well, that was a pivotal part of the film. And unfortunately, it got shut down. It got closed down. The slide, it's been around too long, so they had to close it down. And they are going to have to build a new one. And in order to do that, they need about $100,000. And the community, I think they've already only donated like $4,000, because it's Trump's economy. So people don't have any money around here. They don't have money to give to a slide, And so I don't know when that's going to be rebuilt. I really hope it'll be rebuilt by next summer because I think it's such a shame. If I was really forced, like if I had a studio making me make the movie and I was forced to do it this year, I would just have to literally rewrite the entire thing to just take that into account. But I don't want to do that because that's not part of my vision, And at this level, my vision is what's most important out of everything. I would say my vision and then the safety of my actors. Those are the two. And then my health as well, obviously. I mean, I'm an actor too. Those are like the top things that I really care about, So after that disastrous shoot, I was so wiped out. And on the weekend, I was supposed to go to this strawberry festival in order to film possible clips for the opening credits for County Fear. And I ended up going there the last day. There were only 2 days that it was up. And I went there, and it's probably the worst fair that I've ever been to. As we were walking in, these old people came out, and they said that was not worth it. It was basically just for kids. Which it kind of seemed like that online, but you never know, and I thought maybe it would surprise me. But it just surprised me about how bad it was. I mean, they only had one table with strawberries on it. And then they had this really, they had all these bowls with strawberries. And none of them were covered. These bowls with the strawberries were not even covered with anything. They were just left open for people to, or flies to just get all over them. And there was this probably the funniest part of the whole thing. There was this big girl who came up, and she came up, and there was this little sign. And I guess you could either get the strawberries all by themselves to eat, or you could get strawberries and cream. And the girl was like, I will take strawberries and cream. And the woman was like, which bowl would you like? And she had this whipped cream, and it was just so like, it was so weird. It was like, you're gonna eat that? You're gonna eat these strawberries that have been sitting out here? They're just sitting out there, these fucking big fat strawberries. Like, what do they have? So many chemicals on them that, like, the people don't even care. And by the way, the people selling the strawberries, they admitted that they didn't even farm them. They didn't even grow them themselves. Which, I guess that's fair. But, like, I just thought that was so hilarious. Like, I just couldn't imagine, like, spending... You gotta spend money to get into the Strawberry Fest. And then you're gonna spend money for a bowl of strawberries with whipped cream on them. That is just the most retarded shit ever. Like, the only way that I would do that is if the person making it was, like, blind or something and they really needed the money for themselves. Like, if it was a blind person who said that they could see the future by eating strawberries or something, and they were like, hey, little boy, would you like strawberries and cream? I would say, yeah, okay, I'll fucking take your strawberries and cream. And then I would get it. And then right next to that, this place, it was just a disaster. It was so bare bones. It was basically like a glorified backyard barbecue party. It was like a glorified backyard, like, party. There were lots of kids things. There were some food trucks, and there were some people trying to sell things, of course. And it's like, God, I just hate this. There's nothing strawberry about this festival. And I just felt like this is another instance where I felt like What am I gonna have to do that too? Like, do I have to make the Strawberry Festival next year? Because these people can't even handle coming up with Strawberry Festival ideas? I mean, Jesus Christ. They had this stupid little table. They had a table, because I was considering, like, trying to film something. They had a table with this checkered cloth on it and, like, a straw hat, and you could put on the straw hat and you could take a picture. And I guess it's supposed to be like you're posing as a strawberry farmer. I really don't understand. And they were like, you can do it for free. It's like, yeah, if you try to make people pay to take a picture with a straw hat on, I would have to personally kick your ass. You know, I mean, who the hell would do that? And so then I ponder upon the fair. I ponder upon the festival. I wander around. You know, they had some interesting food trucks. I was actually kind of regretful that I didn't get anything. I really didn't know what to get. I had a headache. I had an allergy headache, of course, which that's another thing that's kind of been bothering me about the summer and about filming is, you know, the allergy stuff is so unpredictable. Or if the weather's changing, then it's guaranteed that there will be a problem. And it really affects the work. So anyways, they had like a really cool boba tea truck that I really wanted to try. It looked really, really good, you know, and I usually don't even get that kind of stuff. But then I was like wandering around like, what do I take a video of? Like, there's nothing here. Like, guys, there was no strawberries and chocolate anything. You know, like when you think about strawberries, you think about, what do you think about? You think about chocolate covered strawberries. Maybe you think about fondue. It just felt so cheap and so minimal and such a waste of money. And the cherry on top, and like, cherry instead of strawberry. The cherry on top was that there was a guy walking around picking up trash, and he had a shirt that had the F word on it. And I thought, like, this is supposed to be like a family-friendly, like, kids event. And you got like a trash picker, and he's walking around with a shirt with the F word on his shirt. Like, you would think that guy had other shirts that he could wear. You know? So I didn't end up filming anything. So that was an epic fail, to be honest. Like, that was such an epic fail that I ended up just storming out of there, you know, and just thinking, like, I'm going to go home now and forget that ever happened. Okay? and then I had to relive it for this video. So, after that, I wanted to start breaking down County Fair. And I came up with an idea. I thought maybe I could shoot County Fair for 2 weeks in August. I could shoot 1 week with side characters, and then I could shoot the other week with Chloe, with the leading character. And I just had trouble, like, just trying to find, like, where do I take scenes out of, like, which scenes do I do? Which scenes do I prioritize? Like, I was so just kind of, I didn't know. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to break it down in a satisfying way to where it would make sense. And it ended up to where I had a couple of ideas, and then those ideas kind of felt complicated because, every time, even though I'm not like at a level where I can pay people, or if I am paying them, pay them a whole lot. But every time that I shoot with people, I got to pay for their food. I got to pay for their gas, in Trump's economy. And I just felt like, maybe it would be better if I just took this off the plate completely. And I just saved everything for next year in the summer. It just felt, at that point, I was like, it really made sense to me to focus my energy on something that I can try to finish, and to focus my energy on a project that, quite frankly, deserves to be focused on more than anything. So, I ended up circling around an idea to focus on Drimp, my first film that I've been working on since 2022. And I felt, after all this time, I kind of felt like, wait a second, like, it was stupid to do these other projects and not just focus on finishing Drimp. Like, no matter how long it takes, no matter what I need to do to get over that finish line, everything immediately clicked with me. So basically, after all that business about, this summer's going to be County Fair summer, I am now, and I told you guys things could change, I am now at a completely different place. It really is all because of that really bad shoot, that bad Drimp shoot. It was so bad, it made me question everything. And it made me think, oh my God, those scenes that I shot, that was I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the fourth actor that I've had to bring to play this character. And it is the fourth time that I've had to shoot those scenes. And still, it was not good. So that means that I'm going to have to bring a fifth actor to do those scenes again for the fifth time. That's a lot. That's what I really hate about filmmaking at this level, is just, one blow, one bad shoot can just knock everything off the board and just make everything feel like, God, now I got to do that again? Like, shit. So I've come to the decision, this is my big decision, my big announcement for this video. I will be focusing on Drimp for the rest of the year. I will be doing reenactments. I will be doing movie scene reenactments, which I did post an announcement about that. But I will basically just be focusing on Drimp. The only exception, and I might be canceling this too, I postponed the People Pleaser shoot to July. And to be honest, now that I'm focusing on Drimp, I just don't feel like I should do the shoot. I just don't feel like, I don't feel like that it would be a good use of my time and resources. I feel like Drimp is what needs the focus and attention, and I'm at a place where I want to finish Drimp with the people that I want, with my vision that I want, and with the exact way that I want to do it. I want to finish Drimp. So in a way, I hope that this comes off as a good announcement, because it means that, I'm focusing on just the one thing. And if you guys have learned anything, when I focus on something, I get it done. you know, anything, I get it done. I just have to focus on it. And, focus means I've already been starting the planning, to be honest. And in the midst of the planning, I've been thinking about, oh yeah, I got to prepare for that shoot in July. That people pleaser shoot in July. Ugh. So I'll probably be canceling that again too. Which I know might sound harsh. It's not with the same actor, it's with a different actress. But I just want to focus on Drimp. I just want to make Drimp really, really badly. Like, I just really, really want to make it. I really, 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 really want to make it. Now that announcement is out of the way, I am also having to reconsider who is playing Chloe in County Fear. And since then, I've already gotten one actress who can do it as like a backup. She's fully invested, I guess, and she's pretty damn good too. And she seems nice. And then I went to this other actress because I had this one actress. I was supposed to work with her early this year, but I just didn't have the resources to do so. And she actually is an Ohio native, and she's moving to California this fall. So I reached out to her, and I wanted to see what happened because she never submitted an audition. And she revealed she never got the email. So I felt like, oh, that's terrible, So I got to get an audition from her. And so I am still considering Chloe. I'm considering recasting that role. And it doesn't even really matter at this point because I'm not making County Fear until next year. I will be going to the fair this year to do shots for the opening credits, which I will be getting the shots from that fair, obviously. Other than that, I'm probably not going to be doing anything County Fear related this summer. And in fact, I haven't even really been thinking about County Fear. All I've been thinking about is Drimp and about personal things and about the YouTube channel. And that's another thing is that, I really want to get this YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. So I've been analyzing the analytics and all that kind of stuff and figuring out a strategy. And going forward, I'm going to be putting mostly just bonus content on Patreon. I'm not going to be, putting halves of the reviews behind the paywall. I'm just going to be putting bonus stuff, which could be character rankings. It could be, a number of things. Reviews, commentaries. And a big thing that I'll be doing is I'll be doing filmmaking behind-the-scenes stuff on Patreon. So if you want to hear the dirty details about, filmmaking and about, like, if something goes wrong or if a shoot, if weird stuff happened on the shoot, then that is going to be the only place where you'll be able to see it. As for all of the spoiler reviews that are all on Patreon now, those are going to stay on Patreon behind the paywall. For only just a few dollars a month, you can subscribe to either tier. And I might just consolidate and just make it one tier for now and expand at a later date. I'll have to decide about that pretty soon. But yeah, that is my big announcement video, my big video I wanted to do. And I don't think that there's anything else to say. I'm just I'm feeling a lot better now that I'm just focusing on Drimp. There are moments where I'll kind of think about my other projects, but I just think that, like, after so much time where my focus has been fragmented, I just feel so much better focusing on the one thing. And so I'm really excited to finish Drimp. I'm really excited to continue working on it. Even after I, press stop for this video, I'll probably do some work for Drimp. Probably. I mean, my voice is pretty worn out from doing this video, so yeah. So I think that's about it. And anyways, please like this video, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to support this channel even further and get access to a ton of exclusive bonus content, then please head on over and check out our Patreon page. You will not regret it. So goodbye, everybody. See you soon.